rains do not make the situation any easier. The rains continue through May and June. Farmers in the Quake area lost tools as the shaking caused landslides that buried equipment. Also, many farmers need money for seeds and fertilizer. And Sabina Vilka of the aid group CARE says many lack the money to hire help to prepare the land. For the planting, they also need local labor, she says. And since they do not have enough money to hire people, the work will simply not be done. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization said it has delivered tools and seeds to thousands of families in the Quake area. The earthquake was centered near Port-au-Prince. An estimated 600,000 people left for the countryside. Experts say it will be difficult to feed them. Food prices are high, and many people fled the capital with only the clothes they were wearing. Gerald Murray at the University of Florida is an expert on Haiti. He says many rural families have taken in relatives and friends who lost homes and jobs. There may be enough to eat for a while, he says, but before too long, there may be hunger. Farming is about 60% of Haiti's economy, but most food comes from imports. Before the quake, the government and private groups were working to improve agriculture. Deforestation is a major problem. There are few trees to protect soil from floods, droughts, and severe storms. In the 1600s, Haiti's French colonizers cleared forests to plant sugarcane. In the 1950s, forests were cut down for wood and other products. Poor technology and poor roads also reduced agricultural production. So did animal and plant diseases. Farmers moved to cities. Professor Murray says the average farm in Haiti is about 1 to 1.5 hectares. Fields are commonly divided between level ground and a mountainside. And that's the VOA Special English Agriculture Report, available at voaspecialenglish.com and on Twitter and Facebook at VOA Learning English.
English Agriculture Report. Weather does not discriminate between large and small farms. If it rains too much or too little, crop insurance can pay for losses. Yet insurance usually costs too much for a farmer with as little as a hectare or two of land. But now a program called Kilimo Salama, or Safe Farming, offers low-cost insurance in parts of Kenya. The program is offered by the Syngenta Foundation. The foundation was established by the Swiss agricultural chemical maker Syngenta. Farmers register at businesses taking part in the program and receive a policy number through their mobile phone. Every time the farmers buy seeds, fertilizer, or other inputs, they pay an extra 5% in addition to the price. This extra cost is the insurance premium. The farmers are paid back for the inputs if their crops fail because of drought or flood. The program is designed for maize and wheat farmers like Josephat Lungat. He owns a 2-hectare farm near Eldoret in western Kenya. He said, "In a case where we do not have a lot of rainfall, it means we are going to lose all the crops. But this insurance policy is going to cover the farm inputs that we use in the farms. So that is going to give us the certainty of going back to the farms again if the rains do not come." He buys his agricultural inputs at Maraba Investments in Eldoret. About 200 farmers signed up for the insurance within the first 2 weeks that it was offered there. Beatrice Kemboy is a director of the business. She says every day she and her workers register from 5 to 10 farmers in the program. When farmers buy their inputs, the store worker uses a mobile phone camera to scan barcode symbols that match the product. A text message confirming the policy number and sale is then sent automatically. The program also uses solar-powered weather stations to record local rainfall amounts. The data is sent to the UAP Insurance Company. When there is crop failure because of a drought or flood, farmers receive a text message. It tells them to receive payment from the business where they purchased their inputs. And that's the VOA Special English Agriculture Report. You can read and listen to our reports at voaspecialenglish.com. And you can add your comments. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and iTunes at VOA Learning English.
Agriculture Report in Special English. Some private game farmers in South Africa are hiring armed protection for their rhinos. New security companies are being started to fight an increase in rhinoceros poaching. Poachers are now well armed and well financed. A single horn sells for more than $65,000 per kilogram. That is more valuable than gold. Rhino horns are sold mostly in Vietnam and China. People there wrongly believe that the material in the horn can cure all kinds of problems. Simon Rood started a security company in South Africa 5 years ago when rhino poaching started to increase. His 35 rangers supervise an area of 150,000 hectares in Limpopo province. Simon Rood was a soldier in the South African Army and gives military training to his rangers. He says they have never lost a rhino to poaching. This, he says, is because his rangers patrol 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and live and sleep in the countryside. Callie Botha manages a wildlife business that had 6 rhinos. Recently, he found one dead with its horns cut off. He owned the rhino for 12 years. Replacing a rhino costs about $28,000. But Callie Botha says armed protection also costs a lot, and he worries about his own safety. So he may stop breeding rhinos. He says the risk is too high. Other wildlife businesses are willing to pay to protect their rhinos. Karen Trendler works at South Africa's only rhino orphanage. She thinks there should be a law to establish rules for training. If security companies are not well trained, she says, there is a risk of corruption. She says a long-term solution will come through education and law enforcement. For VOA Learning English, I'm Carolyn Presutti.
Agriculture Report. Most kinds of rose plants are native to Asia, but roses also grow in other parts of the world, including Northwest Africa, Europe, and the United States. In 1986, Congress and President Ronald Reagan declared the rose as America's national floral emblem. They proclaimed it the national flower, in other words. But whatever the name, the choice of the rose did not smell very sweet to supporters of other popular flowers. Some say roses are difficult to grow, but you have a better chance of success if you start with a few suggestions from experts. First, choose a place to grow your roses where they can get sunshine for about 6 hours on bright days. You can buy roses from a garden center or by mail. You can buy potted roses, also known as container roses, or bare root plants. Each kind has its fans. Some gardeners say potted roses are easier to plant. They say the roots develop better if you start with potted roses. But others point out that bare root roses come without soil, so they weigh less to transport, and that can save money. The University of Illinois Extension advises getting bare root roses as close to planting time as you can. If they arrive before you are ready to plant them, make sure the packing material is moist. Keep the plants in a cool, dark place. You plant the roses while they are dormant. The resting plants have no leaves but still need water. When growing roses, the soil should feel moist deep down. Watering should be done in the morning. You can avoid problems like black spot and mildew that way. Be careful not to water roses too much. Too much water can cause unhealthy discoloration on the leaves. After heavy rains or too much watering, try temporarily pulling away mulch from around the roots.